in some of research nowadays, there's the whole question of privacy.
Okay.
That consumers are concerned about infringement of privacy. Do you see that in your results? Are consumers really concerned about privacy?
So I think some are and some aren't. We talked a little bit about the digital native. Digital natives don't care at all. People in my demographic, some do, some don't. The boomers, again, some do, some don't. About 5 years, no, let me think, 4 years ago, I was working for a company called MyBuys, which was one of the personalization leaders, and I did a Harris poll. And back 4 years ago, I found out that 60% of consumers are willing to trade a certain amount of privacy for personalization. So that means when I land on a site and the products get recommended to me, they're the products that I'm looking for, the types of products that I like to buy. That was 4 years ago. 60% said I'm willing to trade privacy for personalization. And that was before social media took off as much as it has today. So I would surmise, maybe I'll even do that poll again. I would surmise that that number's gone up because everybody's attention span has gotten so much shorter. They want to get service. And who wants to sift through to get to the data or the item or the article or the product that you're looking for when you could just get it instantly if you sacrifice just a little bit of privacy? Now there always will be people who backlash and write about it and rant about it. And the truth is that we're only looking at the data that's publicly available, and we have very high ethics standards. So I think that the data that conversations that need to stay proprietary will stay proprietary. And then people will become more cognizant when they're on it. We can read fan pages on Facebook. So people, I think, will know that people are listening. But when they're talking to their friends inside Facebook, we're not touching that data. But when people are Twittering's open forum. And I think the consumers are going to get smarter and smarter and use their voice in the public forum and then contain their voice in the private forum.
I'm probably asking you questions that a boomer would ask since I'm a boomer. We were talking a little bit about generational differences in the digital landscape. Can you speak to that?
Well, I do think that there is a difference. Again, we talked about the digital natives. These kids were born with a mouse in their hand. They think straight onto the computer. And I think that they interact with just a complete whimsy. Do you know, 90% of 18 to 29-year-olds text every single day. And it's just 90% across the U.S. That's just astounding. They don't pick up the phone and call people. They don't even meet face to face. They're just texting and talking about their language. I bet you don't do that every single day.
I do it rarely.
Rarely.
But I do it a little bit.
A little bit. And I do, where my demographic, the 35 to 49, is at about 35%. So growing, healthy. And I don't remember the stats on the boomers, but it's significantly smaller. Although the fastest growing segment on Facebook today are females 55 plus. So every level is engaging, but they're engaging differently. The boomer community is getting involved in LinkedIn, and they're also going to YouTube. They really like the videos. The younger generation, they're everywhere. I mean, they're across everything. They're on Foursquare and Flickr and Facebook and Twitter and whatever new technology comes up next, they're in there, on Dig and Buzz and all these other crazy things. And then, the medium segment is, adopting slowly. And you were asking about, privacy and how loud will people's voices go and where will they say things publicly and privately. And I think it goes back to the digital natives will have, again, the whimsy. They will speak about whatever they want to, wherever they want, and the rest of the community out there will be a little bit more particular. And then I think that when people see the benefits of speaking freely and see a change, look at what happened with the Gap logo. There was a backlash, and they changed it. So when the less trusting demographics see that brands and services are listening and responding, they might become more trusting.
So much change and so quick. Where do you see the landscape settling in 5 years? How do you think it'll look?
5 years? First of all, look at what's happened to this country and this administration and how just digitally savvy they are. I mean, there could be, I don't know if in 5 years, but in the future, all voting could be done through social media. Think about that movie Minority Report when Tom Cruise is walking down the corridor and all these different customized ads talking directly to him. That's not very far off. I mean, I don't know if in 5 years, but in the not too distant future, I can see them putting chips in our head and beaming thoughts into our head. I know you're making a face, but I think within my lifetime, we're going to see people opt in. I don't know that I would, but we're going to see people opting in for technology like that. I mean, sky's the limit, really.
Lisa Joy, it's just been fascinating. I've learned so much. Do you have any last thoughts?
I do. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, and I've really enjoyed talking to you. I was at the ARF this last couple of days at their annual Rethink Summit, and Joe, the CMO of Coca-Cola, said something really interesting. He said, "You're afraid of change? Okay, you can be afraid of change, but you'll be a lot more afraid of being irrelevant." So I think that's really the message, is that the world is moving so fast. The innovation is happening just every second. And yes, sometimes it's a little frightening to change, but if you don't change, you are going to be irrelevant, and that's going to be a lot more scary.
Well put.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
thank
appreciate
you.
the time.
Thank you.